Pinecone trees are great to decorate your home with every year. I think they look really high end, but they can be a little bit intimidating to DIY. So let me give you some of my best tips so you can recreate one in your home. Start with a foam wreath from Dollar Tree. Next, you're going to need some pine cones. Now, I find it best to get ones that are similar size. It just makes it a lot easier. They have pretty affordable ones at Hobby Lobby. I'm gonna get 2 bags of the medium size and 1 bag of the smaller pine cones. Next, we're going to start with the medium bag of pine cones and hot glue those to our wreath. Now we're gonna follow a pattern here. So we're going to hot glue 3 pine cones, 1 on top and 2 on each side of the wreath. Then we're going to do 2 pine cones on the next row. We'll come back in and do 3 pine cones on the following row. So you can see I'm kind of going 3, 2, 3, 2. So that's my pattern here. As I'm going, I may kind of mix that up just a little bit depending on where I need to add in a pine cone, but that's pretty much the pattern you want to do all the way around your wreath. Just hot gluing, holding in place till everything is dry. And you may have to add in additional hot glue if you feel like a pine cone isn't totally secure. Follow this around your entire wreath until you get all of your medium pine cones on. From there, you're gonna see some holes where you can see the green foam piece in. That's where you wanna come in with your smaller pine cones. So you're gonna add some hot glue to the bottom of your pine cone and put it wherever you see an opening. Now, once you're completely covered with pine cones, let's add a bow. I like to use wire ribbon when I'm creating bows, and I like kind of like the 2.5 to 3 inch ribbon. I'm gonna be using this pretty velvet ribbon, and I'll tie a bow. And I wait to cut off the tails until I have my bow in place. I'll cut off the tails and hot glue it to the bottom of my pine cone wreath. Fluff the ribbon and hang in your home. Did you guys see these stockings that I picked up on my last Dollar Tree shopping trip? If you missed that video, I'll link it for you down in the description box. In that video, I found these in the Dollar Tree Plus section. They're like a faux fur stocking. They had them in white, a gray, and a red. And I thought they were a pretty good deal for only $3. I wanted to take them a step further and personalize them. Another item I found were these really cute skate ornaments, so I picked up 2 of those. Now to personalize them, I went into the Cricut design space. I put my girl's name in the text and figured out what font that I wanted to use. Then I sent it to print on my Cricut Explore 3, and I'm gonna be using a white permanent vinyl to cut it out with. After I cut it out, I weeded it out and I went to transfer it onto some faux leather that I had in my craft room. Now this was just scrap faux leather I had. If you don't have any, I'll put a link down below to some that I've used in the past that you could pick up for this project. Now as I was transferring my vinyl to the faux leather, it wasn't wanting to come off. So in that situation, what I typically do is I will pull it off and just stick it on myself. Now this was a little bit harder to do because the letters were small and I kind of had to move them around and figure out exactly how they go. But honestly, in my opinion, doing this is easier than having to recut. I don't like having to recut, so I figured out a way to put them on there, but they were just having trouble sticking to my faux leather. Sometimes that happens whenever you're putting vinyl onto things. But after I got them completely stuck down, I wanted to cut my faux leather pieces so that they were even and about the same size. So I trimmed them down. Next, I wanted to add the ornament to my stocking, so I just added a little bit of hot glue underneath that top flap area and hot glued it in place. And then I put my label across the front. I love how affordable these personalized stockings were, and here's how they turned out. Let's make a holiday candy jar. Now this is very similar to one that I made in the fall, just with Christmas colors. You're gonna need 2 glass jars. I think the round one is really key here, and then this other jar is perfect. You can find those in the glassware at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need a wood piece and some sort of handle. This was one that I already had in my craft room. So I'm gonna start with the wood piece. I'm gonna cut off the little hanger and I'm gonna fill the hole with wood filler. Once the wood filler dries, I'm gonna sand it down so it's flat with the wood piece. I'm gonna spray the base bowl and the wood piece with 2 coats of a white spray paint on both sides. I'm gonna spray my knob red. Once everything has a chance to dry, I'm gonna take the wood base and turn it upside down. I'm gonna put E6000 on the bottom of my clear jar and I'll place it on the wood base. You wanna let this sit and dry overnight. I'm also going to add some E6000 to my handle and put that on top of the wood piece. Once they have a chance to dry, you can fill this up with your favorite holiday candy. I'm gonna put some peppermints in, and this would be so cute sitting out in your kitchen for the holidays. Have you ever wanted to create large ornaments to set out in your decor? I'm gonna show you how to put them together with Dollar Tree supplies. Pick up 2 glass bowls from Dollar Tree and some Dollar Tree mason jar lids. I'm gonna take E6000 and put it along the top of one of my bowls. Then I'll take the other glass bowl and set it directly on top of where the E6000 was. Then to create a little topper for my ornament, I'm gonna pull off a mason jar lid. I'll glue the part that kind of comes off of the mason jar lid onto the part that screws on, and then I'll add E6000 to the bottom of my lid and place it onto the glass bowl. With E6000, you wanna let this sit overnight. After it had a chance to dry, I wanted to spray paint it. I decided to go with 2 different colors of gold. One was more of a copper color and the other was more of a metallic traditional gold. I'll spray 2 coats on both of the ornaments. And here's how they look in my decor. Do you love the look of Pottery Barn's light up branches? If so, let me show you how to put this look together for less. So you're going to buy or gather some inexpensive branches. Next, spray them in a metallic color. You could either go silver or gold. For this DIY, I'm going with a silver color. I'll spray them on one side, let that dry, flip them over, and spray them on the other side. Next, you can use the common Dollar Tree vase that I use in so many of my DIYs. You're also going to need some snow filler from Dollar Tree. About 3 packages should work. I'm gonna start by putting in 2 packages of the snow filler. Then I'll place my sticks inside. Next, you're gonna get a box of these fairy lights off of Amazon. I love how small the lights are. They're perfect for adding to branches. Now, they aren't super long, so this box has quite a few fairy lights in there, but for this project, I'm gonna use 4 sets. I'll unravel all the fairy lights and I'll put the bases in the back behind my branches. So you should have 4 bases. Then I'll start wrapping my fairy lights around the branches. You wanna add them as tightly as possible. You wanna put them so they're evenly spaced around your branches. After you have all your fairy lights in place, add a little bit more snow in just to cover up those bases. And here's how it looks all lit up. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.